me do this. Okay. All right, let's do this. So for the first one here, okay, what we have now is the square root of 81. Okay. Okay, so we want to get the square root of 81, right? Well, what is that equal to? Well, we know that 9 squared, right, is 81. Okay? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let me try zooming in a bit. That should be good. So we have 9 squared is 81, and we know 9 is non-negative, right? So the square root of 81 must equal 9. Again, I'm really just using what's up top here, right? That's really just what I'm using. Okay? Now, what about the square root of 64? Well, let's take a look. Well, it's the same idea. Namely, we know that 8 squared is 64, right? And we know 8 is non-negative. It's kind of a, yeah, okay, so yeah, it's non-negative. So because of that, we get the square root of 64 equals 8. I hope I'm not going too fast. What about 144? Square root of 144? Well, we know that this is going to be 12. 12 squared is 144. And we know that 12 is non-negative. So the square root of 144 is 12. And that's what we get here. And of course, the square root of 0, actually, wait, let me fix that. We know that 0 squared is 0, and 0 is, anything is greater than or equal to itself. Yeah?
So for the first two, I got the right answer, but how do you know, like, for example, like you could break down 9 into like square root of 9 and break it into 3. Like, how do you know when to stop?
Because you just want the square root of 81.
Okay.
I don't know, does that help or?
I think so.
Oh, wait, I mean, wait, so here, let me see if I can answer your question. So we got the square root of 81 is 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking, like, do we go further than this?
Yeah, like I know that it's just 9, but could you also simplify it to like the square root of 9 and then it equals 3, or no?
No, you're only doing one, there's only one square root here.
Okay.
I mean, if you had like, because, wait, hold on. We only have one square root, so you're not going to do square root of 9 here.
Okay, so when do you know to keep going? Like,
It would just depend on the problem. So
okay.
like, I mean, if we had somehow square root of 9 in there, so if instead of the square root of 81, if we had the square root of 9, then we would have this.
Okay.
Does that help or?
No, yeah, that helps. Thank you.
All right. Good question. Any other questions? Okay. For 0, so we have 0 squared is 0, and 0, of course, is non-negative. So we only have the square root of, wait, let me see if we can see it. The square root of 0 then is just 0. That's all. Okay, that's good. Where's page 2? Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me get to page 2. So in page 2, what I did was I also did put down the perfect squares. Let me just zoom in to get it. All right, anyway, so for 56, it may not be obvious at first if it's simplified or not. Okay, so let's list some factors. We have 56. Wait, let me write it out. So here are the factors of 56. Right? So, okay, so what are they? We're going to have 1. We have 2. Right? We have 4. I'm trying to think what else. We have, I think 6 is 1. No, not 6. I'm sorry. 7. 8. Well, actually, we can stop right there. 8, thank you. 8, we can stop right here, actually, because 4 is a factor and 4 is a perfect square. So this is not simplified. That's okay. We can simplify it. Just do what we did before. It just fell off the page. That's okay. Anyway, so since it's not simplified, we can simplify it. So let's do that. Okay. So we know 56, right? That's going to be 4 times 56 over 4. And if you do that in your oh, for goodness sakes. Come on. There we go. Microsoft Whiteboard made an automatic shape. It thought I wanted to draw a triangle. So anyway, we got 4 times. I think that turns out to be 14. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. So what does that tell us? That tells us the square root of 56, right, is the square root of 4 times 14. Okay, and that's the square root of 4 times the square root of 14. We have the square root of 4 times the square root of 14. Okay, so that's good. Okay. And that's going to be 2 times the square root of 14. But again, we're really not done because we want to know if 14, the square root of 14, I mean, if that's really simplified or not. I mean, it turns out it is, but let's show it. Okay, so I'm going to have to go off the page here. Move this over. Oh, no. Come on. There we go. All right. So now let me write this down. So for 14, what are the factors of it? Well, we have 1, we have 2, we have 7, right? And I think 14, and 14, of course, and that's it. And only 1 is a perfect square. So it is simplified. So this is simplified. Okay, that's cool. So that's what we get here. Okay, good, good. All right, so we have that done. Any questions on that? All right, let me move on. Let me see if I can squeeze in one more. I think I can do that, but we shall see. Okay, so now for the square root of 40. Well, this is definitely not simplified. I think we saw that already, because if you look at the factors of 40, we have 1, we have 2, we have 4, and right away that tells us that's not simplified because 4 is a perfect square. Okay, well, 40, that's equal to 4 times 40 over 4, which of course is 4 times 10. See if I can go through this quickly. So it's 4 times 10. So the square root of 40, that's the square root of 4 times 10. Let's see, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room, so let me quickly go here. And that's going to be the square root of 4, square root of 10, which is 2, square root of 10. Now, it turns out the square root of 10 is simplified. I mean, it's not terribly hard to see that because the only factors of it are 1, 2, 5, and 10. So this turns out to be simplified. All right, so I think we'll have to stop here. So at a time. So I do have office hours.